juicy gist. This is a space for you to get the tea, the juicy gist of some of the issues and social media topics that happen in our Naija. Here we talk about social media issues, politics, entertainment, business, and anything that goes on in this country. Now, I know we have been away for a while, but we are back, bigger, and we have leveled up. So come along and I will give you the ride of your life. I am your host, Zara. Today on the show, I'm going to be starting you off with a little entertainment gist. Now, while November started on a good note for some Nigerians, it was a sad beginning for some of us who are, lovers of one of the biggest artists in the country, and I'm talking about one of the big shots, David Adeleke, aka Davido. Within the week, he lost his 3-year-old son, Ifeanyi Adeleke. The boy drowned in their residential pool. Very, very sad event. Although the family has not come out to give an official statement of what happened, we have gotten information from reliable sources who are close to the family of the boy's demise, what has been going on to, investigate what happened, the events that led to his death. I'm praying and hoping that God grants the family, grants Davido and Chioma the fortitude to bear this loss of losing a loved one. It's really, really terrible. I hope that they will be fine soon enough. Now, while some people are mourning and losing people, friends and family things, others have decided that they are going to be in our mouths. And they are not going to be in our mouths for anything good, but they want to be in our mouths for drags. They want to be dragged left, right and center. And I'm talking of no other person than Yul Edochie. Yes, the popular Nollywood actor Yul Edochie. Now, Yul was in the news earlier this year for marrying a second wife. After she had given birth to a son for him, he went behind his wife's back to get married to a fellow artist, a fellow colleague in the industry, Judy Austin. And now he's on our timelines again. Why? The estranged ex of his second wife has been dragging him and his new wife left, right and center. The man has been claiming that Yul's new son is his and that he also has other children with Judy, who has denied him access to these kids. Now, he has been dragging Yul Edochie that Yul should talk to his wife to allow him see his children and his son. He's even charging Yul for a DNA test to prove that the boy is his. Yul has not come out to tell us anything about this issue. But guess what he has come out to tell us? He said he has a confession for us. Now, all of us with our big ears, we open them and our antennas, expecting to hear the juicy details of everything that went down before he married a second wife. Only for you to tell us that he was called to be a minister of God some years ago. And he felt that it wasn't the right time to answer that calling. That is why he has not answered. This is the same Yul that was ranting and raving that he's going to contest for presidency election come 2022/2023. This is the same Yul that went and married, that is a Christian, and married a second wife. Please, my Christian brethren and sistren out there, where in the Bible does it say that a man or minister of God can have 2 wives? Like Yul, you are an artist, right? You are an actor, right? You should be in the news for doing works that concern your line of duty or your line of your career choice, your career path. Not being in the news, being on TL for cheap clout. Dude, go back to acting, producing, whatever. If you want, even go into music. But all of this theatrics just to stay on the blogs, it's crazy, very crazy, right? Now, let me give you a little gist from social media. So, if there's one thing we know Big Wiz for, is his silence when you want him to talk on most issues. If you like, drag him. If you like, call his name, call his father's name. If he doesn't want to answer you, he's not answering, and that is on period. But if there's another thing we know him for, is that he never keeps quiet when it concerns dire or serious issues that shape the future of this country. One of these examples is his vocalness during the end tax protests in 2020. Well, Big Wiz, or Machala if you like, has finally said something about the most important topic in the country, and I'm talking about nothing else but the 2023 general elections. He has come out to say that the old are going to be ousted from power this time around. Guys, what do you think? You know, come to think about it, the people that are at the helm of affairs in the country currently are the same people, or were close to the people that were at the helm of affairs around the time that the country gained its independence. Like, the cycle continues. We youth have not been given much opportunities to showcase our talents and our skills, and it can be draining seeing these old men come back, recycle themselves. The cycle just keeps going. I, for one, would want to see an agile, fit, up and running man or woman as the next first citizen of the country come 2023. I'm definitely not going to sit behind my screen talking about this. I'm going to be being active. I'm going to get up and do something about it, and I hope you do the same too. Now, let's talk a little about business. It is no news whatsoever that our naira is currently being devalued by the day. Every day it's a new devaluation. Every day it's a new devaluation. Well, as of today, the naira is 875 naira to $1. I don't mean $100. I don't mean 1,000. I mean like $1, like this $1. I would have sung a song for you guys, but that is not my domain. Well, still on the naira and its palaver, we know that the Central Bank of Nigeria has left the issue of trying to get our naira to be valued and other financial issues, and decided they have gone from the problem of the failing naira to painting naira. That is what I call it, from failing to painting. You know, it's no news that CBN have decided to redesign the 500, 200 and 1,000 naira notes respectively. Well, they said that one of the reasons why they have decided to take this step is to, you know, counter illegal funds, you know, so in a way going to counter insecurity such as kidnapping, you know, and you know, most of these monies that ransoms that are paid to kidnappers are paid in cash, and these people just stack up this cash in houses or bury them or whatsoever. So the CBN says that this would help in tackling this issue, because anybody that brings out a huge sum of money from nowhere, you know, they are going to just bag them and start investigating where the money coming from. Well, I don't think these people are serious about doing this, because it's like they'll be using our head. Like, is the confidence for me? Is the confidence that these people who are in power have to tell us one thing and go ahead and just do another? Like, pictures and some videos have been coming out of monies, a lot of monies being brought out from their hidden places, some dating as far back as 2007. I saw a photo of a 500 naira note that was printed in 2007. 2007, guys. This money was brought to the bank, of course, to be deposited and for them to get the new 500 naira note when it will be released in circulation. And the EFCC is doing nothing about this. There have been several pictures on mainstream and social media, and nobody is doing anything about this. I thought this is one of the reasons why they are redesigning the naira notes. Like, make it make sense. Why is there no investigation going on? Why is nobody arresting these people or inviting these people that are bringing these huge sums of cash? Like, it's crazy. Well, speaking about craziness, if there's one thing that never ceases to bring out the craziness in Nigerians, it's politics. And I'm not talking about the craziness in the supporters or the people rallying for these politicians. I'm talking about the craziness in the politicians themselves. I'm going to give an example with the current governor of Rivers State, current and outgoing governor of Rivers State, Wizkid, you know, he has been having this, I don't know, power tussle and, you know, faction in the PDP. Well, the person he has been fighting, who is Atiku, has said, I've moved on from that. Like, you can keep ranting and raving in your own way, in your world. I have moved on from that until the next thing that's going to get me to the #1 seat in the country. Guys, like, that was so disrespectful. He said more, but like, I'm just paraphrasing what he said. That was so crazy. So, another person who has shown a little bit of his crazy side, which he always does anytime he finds himself in front of a podium. I'm talking of no other person than Bats, the original Bats, like the Bat himself, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, the flag bearer of the APC and presidential aspirant. Well, he was at a rally within the week, and this rally, I think it had to do with the gubernatorial elections of Lagos State. And they were singing a song about the PDP flag bearer, talking about Jandor and his deputy, Funke Akindele, the one and only actress, Funke Akindele. They're singing a song, and Jandor, they're singing it in Yoruba. I don't really understand Yoruba, but I was able to get people to translate this a little bit for me. And he said something, oh, I should leave Jandor, he doesn't know. And then when he got to the turn of Funke Akindele, he just shut down and told them, nobody should mention her name where he is, that it is an insult and disrespect to him. Sorry, sir. I'm so sorry. Forgive me. You know, sorry. You know, I mentioned Funke Akindele and I mentioned Bola Ahmed Tinubu. I'm so sorry, sir. Like, guys, if that is not crazy, I don't know what is. Like, I'm too big. I'm the king. I'm the everything. Don't mention this name where I am. It's an insult. Like, he belittled her to the lowest level possible. Politicians can be crazy. No wonder their supporters are crazy as well sometimes. Well, speaking about more crazy and Nigerian crazy, there is this guy, or there was this story on social media during this week that blew my mind away. It didn't blow my mind in a good way. It was like, are you kidding me? Well, a software engineer who is a bachelor that is looking to get married has released his acceptance list or his application lists. That is, if you want to marry him, you have to meet these criteria to be considered, or to even to marry him, or to even be considered. Now, there was a lot on that list, but I'm only going to mention to you guys the things that blew my mind, or the things, some of the things that was just crazy to me. Now, let me start. First of all, he said you have to weigh less than 135 pounds, that's 61 kg. Well, it's fine if you don't like fat people, you don't like thick people, or you don't like plus-sized people, but putting a weight, like a weight specification, that is crazy. Like, that is the first level to weigh. The next thing he said that was very, very more crazier, he said limited amount of melanin, no dark skin. Like, you're an African, a black man, and you are a colorist. You are crazy. And you need to be in Yaba. You need to be taken to Yaba, or you need to be taken to Aminu kind of psychiatric ward, because you mad. You crazy. You out of your mind, guy. Dude, you're in Africa. Of course you're going to get a lot of black people. Even I that classify as fair, I have melanin, like I'm dark. Whether you like it or you don't like it. So what are you saying? You would think that he's thinking about half caste, right? Wait until you hear his requirements. He also said that you have to know your father and be able to prove it. What does that mean? You have to know your father and be able to prove. So I know my dad since I was a kid, and I want to marry you, and I have to prove that my dad is my dad. Does that make sense? Wow. It doesn't stop there, guys. He went on and on. I'm only listing the crazy things he said. There were others, like the list was so long, but I just had to pick the craziest things out of what he said. Now, the next thing he said was, the person must not watch Digital Sisterhood. Like, you now have requirements for the kind of TV I can watch because I want to marry you. Are you a Messiah or a prophet? Or are you an angel? Beats me to imagine that people like this exist, because this is crazy thinking. Now let me move on to the next thing. He says, oh my God. Oh my God. He says you have to have no dating history. Like you have to be someone who has never dated before. Now I know that there are people like that, but are you like that? If you're not like that, I don't think you have the right to demand that of someone else. Crazy people, like I was saying. Let's move on to the next one. There's more. There's more. He says you must be willing to relocate. Like anytime he just says, oh, I'm just leaving this country, you have to just get up and leave your family, leave your house, and just woo to Valhalla land with him without no questions asked. Now let's go to what he says about your race and where you're from. He says that he doesn't want a Pakistani or Indian, but Bangladeshi is okay for him. Those people come from the same ancestral home. Colonization separated them. Most of them have the same ancestors, the same gods, the same food, the same dressing, the same hair, the same skin color. Dude, you're supposed to be smart, aren't you? Aren't you? Now let me tell you the craziest thing he said that blew my mind away. It took, like, my mind literally went pooh. He said, you have to realize that being born a woman is a deficiency and that the only solution is a pious man. With these guys, I have to say that we have come to today's episode. Stick with me. I'll see you in another episode. Bye.